Hello my beautiful squad, welcome to JOROUKA'S Infusion, where we infuse the shared joy of creativity and innovation into our everyday meals. And whether you are a member of the squad, a returning visitor, or you're just passing by, I'd like to invite you to stay a while with me as we dive into today's recipe. Today we are making this very delicious, yummy Nigerian okra soup. Friends, this Nigerian okra soup is the okra soup. Come along with me to my kitchen as we infuse all those flavors into this yumminess. Alright friends, here are all the ingredients we are going to be infusing for this okra soup. I'll drop a list of ingredients in the description box. I got seasoning cubes, salt, dried fish, locust beans, beef, stockfish, ginger, onions, pepper, bell peppers, okra, ugu leaves, Ponmo, mackerel fish, stockfish, palm oil, crayfish, garden eggs, and of course anything I omit, you will find it in the description box. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by cutting up our protein so we can cook them up. You can use smoked mackerel for this recipe, but I actually love fresh mackerel a lot for my okra soup, so I am using fresh mackerel for this. Now you can use any fish you have available. Okay, I cut up some of my cowhide and we're going to go ahead and prepare some marinade for our beef. So I am going to use one large onion and a portion of my bell peppers, habanero peppers, and chili, long chili peppers, and of course I got some ginger. We use a lot of ginger for our okra soups, whether dry okra or miyan kuka back in the north. I'm from middle belt part of Nigeria, but I realize they love to classify us as northern Nigeria, so no worries. So we love to use our ginger, and we use a lot of dry ginger, which brings out the flavor and aroma of any soup. Okay, I don't know about vegetable soup, but yes, any draw soup. So now I am going to go ahead and cut up the rest and set aside for later use. You want to add some water and blend this up. Alright, let's go ahead and cook our beef. Into this pot I am going to add my beef and stockfish, and of course some of that marinade, all of it, in fact all of it, and I'm going to season with some salt and Knorr cubes, and I will set aside to cook for about 15 minutes with just the marinade before I will go back later and add some water. So while our beef is going to be cooking, we're going to go ahead and prep the rest of our ingredients. This Nigerian okra soup, ooh, you're going to love it. So if you're new to my channel, a very warm welcome to you. Please consider being a part of this loving family, a part of the squad, by hitting on that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit on the notification bell. That's the only way you get notified when I drop a video like this. New recipes dropping every other day, and you will never run out of ideas in your kitchen. Plus, at JOROUKA'S Infusion, we will make you fall in love with cooking. Alright, our beef has cooked up, and we're going to go ahead and add some water. And at this point I'm going to incorporate my Ponmo, cowhide. What is okra soup without ponmo, or cooking without ponmo in Nigeria? We love it. So I rinsed out some of the water, some of my blender and then I added the water in here. And the reason I let the marinade cook up the meat is so that the flavors will infuse properly. What are this? Garden eggs. Yes, back in northern Nigeria, we love us some garden eggs in our okra soup. In fact, my mom will use the tiny species, the one that is really bitter. She'll just drop it whole into her okra soup, and when you're eating, you could just burst. And I don't know how to explain it. There's a way it just sort of infuses with a little hint of bitterness, and it's so delicious. I remember it. But guess what? On asking her why she did that, I know we used the big garden eggs, why she used the smaller ones. I discovered growing up as a child that she sort of has heartburn when she eats okra soup, and she loves okra soup so much, and so that's why she does that. Ooh. Alright, so I cut up my onions like this, and I'm going to separate them into 2 portions, and I will blend the rest. Now I cut up half an onion, which we'll use to infuse our okra soup. I blended the rest of my bell peppers and habanero peppers, of course, and ginger. So while my meat is almost soft and tender, I am going to incorporate my dry fish, which is already soft, and I'll let that cook for an extra 10 minutes. Now we're blending about 75% of our cut okra, and we will set aside. Yes, it is time to infuse this pot of deliciousness that you saw at the beginning of this video. And so into this pot, I poured in my palm oil and of course that onions that we cut. Yes, my crayfish, I am adding it in portions. I use a lot of crayfish for my soup, and consequently, I reduce the quantity of seasoning cubes I use because crayfish is a natural sweetener for soups. So I go crazy with it, and it makes all the difference. I added my Locust beans, and after letting that fry for about 3 to 5 minutes, I went in with some water. You want to regulate your water because don't forget we got some beef stock waiting for us. I seasoned with my Knorr cubes, some salt, and some extra crayfish at this point, and I am going to incorporate my mackerel fish. I'll let this cook for about 15 to 18 minutes so that it can release its flavor and infuse into our soup stock. So after about 15 minutes, I am going to go in right now and just extract my mackerel fish out. We do not want it to dissolve into our okra soup, so we're going to set that aside for later use. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? Because I can't wait. When I was making this soup, I'm just laughing at myself. I couldn't wait to just dig into it. The gari was ready. The eba I enjoyed it with was ready even before the soup was done. So now I incorporated my stock and my beef, my stockfish, dried fish, Ponmo, and everything, and we're going to stir all of that together until it's well incorporated. And of course I tasted for salt to see if it is okay, and then I gave it 100%. So but I'm going to let this cook for an extra 10 minutes before infusing my okra. And of course I added some of my bell peppers, chili peppers, and habanero peppers. The reason for this is just in case the heat is not enough, you can always break into your soup and add up an extra heat. In case you have children, this is the perfect way to regulate the heat. You get what you want, your children get what they want, okay? And now is the time to incorporate our slimy okra. I blend it up to give me the slime, and then this is my secret, add the rest of your bell and habanero peppers towards the end. It gives it a lovely color and this freshness to your soup. It makes a difference. And I added up my garden eggs at this point. Look at our okra soup just forming nicely. Can't you imagine it coating your pounded yam or something you're going to enjoy it with? And at this point, I'm going to incorporate the rest of my crayfish towards the end. Of course, I'll stir all of that and let it cook for about 5 minutes. And keep watching. We're going to add something. I added my stock, my beef, into portions. So I added about 75% and I left out the rest. So now I'm going to add my ugu leaves, and of course I'm going to stir that. Use whatever leaf you have available. Uziza leaves, fantastic. I discovered that spinach sort of has a lot of water content, so it takes away a lot of the flavor from my dish, so I don't use it for my okra soup anymore. I used to. So we're going to stir all of this and add the rest of our beef stock and the beef pieces in it. This is a game changer, trust me. Incorporating the rest of this towards the end, ooh, you're going to just love this. So now we're going to incorporate we're going to stir that lightly and then incorporate our mackerel fish, and of course we're going to add all of our cut up okra. But while I'm adding the okra and the mackerel fish, I'm turning off the heat at this point so that the residual heat is going to cook up this okra, because the reason for adding this extra chunks of okra is to give us that crunch, so that there is a balance in between. Actually, my husband will not eat the slimy okra as it is, but once I add this crunchy part, he loves his okra crunchy, we're good to go. Friends and family, I present to you the sport of deliciousness. Please come along with your pounded yam, gari, starch, whatever your favorite swallow is, semolina, potato starch, banku for the Ghanaians, right? Come along with it and partake of this deliciousness with me, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I have other recipes, other soup recipes in my playlist. See you in my next video. Bye. Love you guys. I think this